Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen here. All right, now these are 5 stocks that I've been buying quite a bit of over the last 30, 60 days. Now I haven't bought any in the last week because we had sort of a bounce and I didn't trust that bounce, but today we had a pullback and I'm gonna start probably adding to these positions if we get any more of a pullback. And that's Facebook, which is now Meta, Palantir, NIO, ILUS, and MP Materials. And I'm buying other stocks in that, but these are the top 5 that I've been buying recently, like last month or two. Now we've got inflation data coming out tomorrow, the CPI or CPI is what I call it, and it needs to be below 8.2%. I don't know if it's going to be that or not with gas prices going up the way they are, and their gas prices makes everything expensive. We've just got a terrible inflation problem here. I don't see anything turning it around. I don't see any decisions that are being made that would help with it other than cosmetic, really. You know, until you start pumping more oil, it's not going to much matter. And we do have the Russian problem over there. That war is nothing but a nightmare for obvious reasons, not just gas, obviously. That's just a byproduct. But you've got that. The China lockdowns are probably going to diminish over the next few months. That's going to be more pressure for more oil because they're the biggest users of oil. So it's a tough situation. And I don't trust what we're hearing from our leaders about the inflation. I don't trust them. I don't trust that they know what they're doing on it.
What's going on? We have a right to know the truth.
All right, I'm going to level with you all. Most important thing now is that you remain calm. There's no reason to panic. The other 2 pilots are just fine. They're at the controls flying the plane.
Yeah, I'm just not trusting them. So we'll find out more tomorrow. But anyway, let's go over these 5 stocks that I'm currently, that I have been adding, and we'll talk about them. All right, this is Facebook or Meta. They changed their name because of the metaverse. And of course, they're spending a ton of money to try to control or be a huge player in the metaverse, which I think is actually a pretty good idea. But not everybody does, but that's okay. Let's look at this stock right now. It's sitting at 184 bucks. The PE ratio on it's 13.92. This is a high growth stock, and they're only looking for 6 to 8% growth this year, which is the lowest it's been in ever, I guess. And that's because of the recession, which everybody's being affected by that. But this is a great company with unbelievable balance sheet. They're super profitable. It's sitting here under 15, 13.92. That's hard to beat. So I'm super comfortable with Facebook owning this stock, and I'm going to continue to buy it. Let's take a look at its chart. This is one that I've covered quite a bit, and I've gone so far as where I showed everybody where I bought early on. This was back in 2020, where I bought many, many times in through here. And then earlier this year, I think it was in January, I sold out about 2/3 of it, because I'd gotten kind of killed on some other stocks and I was way up on this one. And I said, okay, I'm going to take some profit because the FANG stocks had not been hit yet. And Facebook was the one FANG stock that I owned. I don't own any other ones. Let me see. There's Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google. I want to own Google. I might own Google at some point, but I don't. And then there's Microsoft. I don't own it. So I only owned Facebook, and I was like, okay, the FANG stocks are probably going to get hit next. So I sold out about 2/3 of it right in this area. It was over 300 bucks. And then of course it got smashed and it dropped down below 200. I really like it under 200 bucks, under 190 I especially do. But I've been buying all through here. And now like I said, I still had about 1/3, so I've been dollar cost averaging, and I'm sitting around 200 bucks on this thing. So I'm down a little bit on it, but I'm fine with that. This is very much a value play and a 3 to 5 year hold, especially at these prices. So, you know, whenever I get a PE under 15 with a profitable high growth stock, you know, with a great balance sheet, that's fine with me. All right, now we're looking at Palantir. It's sitting at $8.68. I missed out on this one big time when it first came out, and I really wanted to get some of it because it's an information software as a service company, and they've really got what I consider as a moat because they've been doing this for so long. It'd be really hard for some companies to catch up with how much information they have, with how far ahead they are when it comes to taking information that a company has and making it valuable for that company. So this is one that interests me a ton, and and their profit margin, their gross margin is over 80%, right in that neighborhood, which is, again, software as a service. So I'm super interested in it. I started nibbling on this thing around 12 bucks, and I've been buying all the way down. And I continue to buy, especially under $9. It even gets more special. I bought some down. It got as low as $6 and like 80 or 90 cents. I bought some there. And I just continue to dollar cost average. I think this is going to be a great stock long term. Granted, it is not GAAP profitable right now. It's actually unprofitable, but it is cash flow positive because they've got stock-based compensation issues. They've been giving out too many stock-based bonuses and as part of pay to some of the big dogs, and they've gotten, you know, quite wealthy from that, and they do realize that's a problem, and they've spoken to it, and they are working on it, and that number is coming down while their revenues continue to go up. So I really like this company. I see this as a $30, $40 stock in a couple of years. That's my opinion. You know, you may have a different one, but I'm very comfortable with this stock, and I think it's going to be a little home run, but, you know, we'll see. The next stock is NIO. And of course, that's a Chinese EV play, and they're the premium car maker in China for EVs. And I really like them as being sort of a junior Tesla one day. They are not profitable yet. I see them getting profitable probably in the middle of 2023. Maybe, I don't know if they'll get there early with this Rona they're dealing with and these shutdowns and all of that. There are some fears of delisting that could become a problem for NIO, but I definitely like it under 20 bucks. You know, it's got a market cap of 29 billion. It's, I think it's very reasonably priced under 20 bucks. And if it were to drop back down to 15, I would just add more. I've been dollar cost averaging the crap out of this one, and you know, pretty comfortably. Now, again, this is a Chinese company, so take that into consideration. There are risks involved with that you don't have with a Facebook or a Palantir. So remember that. But I definitely like NIO. And as you can see, it had dropped all the way down at one point to 12 bucks. It's all the way back up to 18 now. It got as high as over 20 bucks just a couple of days ago. So this stock, like I say, there's some support for it all through here. I see this thing working its way back up to 34 bucks probably over the next 12 months without too much trouble. But again, that's assuming we don't have any more problems with the Rona and shutdowns. They have increased prices to offset any battery cost increases. Their profit margin had dropped some in this last quarter, but again, that had a lot to do with the batteries and, of course, the lockdowns. But again, they have raised their prices to offset that. The next company is MP Materials. This stock is a monster growth stock. If you go to their website and look at their financials, it's ridiculous. Matter of fact, I'm going to pop that up right now. Actually, I don't have to. I've got it right here. If you look at their revenue, up 177% year over year, net income up 430%, net profit margin up 91%, operating income up 429%. I mean, just an absolute growth beast. This is, if this company stays below 40 bucks and especially below $35, it's going to become a value stock probably within 12 months. And it's super high growth. And understand, this is the only mine we have in North America that actually mines those rare earth elements that we must have for magnets. It's incredibly important. They're adding a second stage and a third stage where they're going to start refining that material themselves. I love MP Materials. It's the most underappreciated stock in the stock market, in my opinion. It's under the radar pretty much, and it's very unloved. I do a video on YouTube for it, and I don't get 1,000 views on it, if that. And the dadgum thing is growing like a weed. And it's unbelievably important for this country to have it. So I don't get it. Unbelievable balance sheet, great management. I'm all about MP Materials. If it drops below 35, I will just add to it again. So it's one of my absolute favorites. I don't care how much it's not loved. And the last stock on this list is actually a penny stock. It's ILUS International, and it's sitting at 10 cents right now. It had run up quite a bit. It's been sort of a darling of the penny stocks for a while, but it has pulled back. It's currently sitting at 10 cents, which is some pretty darn strong support. Goes way back to almost over a year ago. So I'm pretty comfortable. I've been adding carefully on this, especially, you know, under 11 down in this 10 area is a good spot for it. This is a profitable penny stock company, which is pretty rare. They are a mergers and acquisitions company. They currently have about, there must be 7 or 8 companies under their umbrella, and they're adding a big acquisition, $100 million acquisition revenue-wise, fairly shortly, and one in Europe as well. So they're trying to become the big fire and safety sector dominant company, and I find this one very interesting. Now realize this is a penny stock. Danger, always remember that with penny stocks.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
That's right. Danger, Will Robinson. I like this company long term. I feel pretty darn good about it. But, you know, like I said, I like to buy penny stocks, and I put them, and I'll buy as much as 10% of my portfolio in OTC stocks. You may not like that, or you may really like the OTC. It depends, you can pick and choose what you want. But anyway, these are 5 of the stocks that I'm super interested in right now, and I'm buying some other ones as well. I might do another video on some of those. This to me is a good time to buy stocks, especially on the pullbacks. I do not buy on green days. I hadn't bought anything in the last week after we had that run back, but now that it's starting to pull back again, I'll probably start buying some more stuff. I've got Exxon Mobil that I'm getting ready to sell, and it's been an absolute home run. I started buying it in the 30s, and it's at 104 now. And I was waiting on June because I figured the gas prices would spike in June. And I also had Marathon and Occidental and Suncor, and those were 4-baggers and 5-baggers.
How's bragging camp going?
But I sold those about a month ago, probably really too early. I could have made some more money on that, but I didn't want to be hoggish. So I went ahead and took those real nice profits, and I needed that because that was the one sector I was making money on. I mean, if you're in this market right now, you're probably down, and I'm down even with those big homers. I'm still down. So, like I said, I'm probably going to sell my Exxon Mobil, even though it is paying me. I think it's a 4% dividend now. It was 8 when I bought it back then, or 10. But with a triple 3-baggers, it's just time to sell it, and I'll take that money and I'll put it into these other stocks that I think are beaten down. All right, folks, and that's 5 stocks that I've been buying and adding to my positions. And like I said, I'll wait on pullbacks, and especially big pullbacks, to buy these stocks. But those are 5 that I'm buying currently. And like I said, I've got a few more that I'm buying that I may do another video on. But anyway, that's something I don't know that I've done what stocks I'm buying as far as multiple ones in quite a long time. So anyway, I thought I'd do that. If you like this type of video, let me know. Hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'd certainly appreciate it. Anyway, I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.